what does a nation that help other people, what does that look in terms of like the regulations with asylum and like all of that in your mind or your perspective?
Well, I think people have this fear that's like, oh, we're going to be overrun, or we can't handle immigration, or we need to like figure out how many people we can take and limit to that. And I think that then gets us into this whole conversation about immigration overall. It's like, I have a belief. I believe in orderly immigration. I believe that we have to have policies about borders. I also believe that we have an aging population and that diversity and foreign mixing is what makes this country great. And so I think that, there people can obviously different opinion about like how many immigrants we want as a starting point, but that's related to but separate from our responsibility to protect refugees who are fleeing persecution. And that, I think, just goes down to like a fundamental question of humanity. Like, are you the person who is in the water after the Titanic has sunk and your lifeboat feels full to you and you're shoving people back down into the water? Or are you the person who's pulling people up out of the water? Are you that person in your life, or aren't you? That's what it comes down to, I think. And it's like, we can equate Ukrainian refugees fleeing into Romania, fleeing into Poland, to Central American refugees coming into the United States. So obviously the circumstances are somewhat different, but it's like, if you feel, if someone watching, I think most of the people who watch us are like pretty pro-immigration, but if someone watching this is on the fence or trying to like conceptualize all of this, how would you feel if Poland shut their borders to Ukraine right now and said, no, we're not taking any? Would you think that was not cool? Then why is it okay for us to do the same thing with Central Americans? What is that distinction for you? They are both fleeing real and actual violence. So just something to consider,